Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty. The men's game between Canada and Argentina has been on the way for just about 3 minutes. We had an early goal in the first minute of play on a field goal for Canada. A quick turnover inside the circle led to an opportunity. Canada took advantage of it. And so Canada in red has a lead 1-0 over Argentina in the light blue and white stripe. This is the first of the men's competition. Argentina with the shot, ties up the score. Nice backhand, little lift. Ties the score. This is the first of the men's competition. There will be 2 men's games today. There are a total of 7 games, 5 from the women's side. The umpire asking the ball to come back. I think the umpire is thinking that it wasn't clear that the free push had started. The umpires today, Donnie Gobishin from Trinidad Tobago. Trinidad Tobago was the winner of the last Pan Am Indoor Cup. That took place in 2017. They are not here to look to repeat as champions. The umpire on the other side, the near side, is Rich Bear from the USA. Reserve umpire is Devin Hopper. Devin is from Guyana. Long pass up, finds teammate in the corner of the circle. A tight pass through a small opening of Canadian defenders led for a quick shot on goal. And deflection over the end line from the goalkeeper gives Argentina a free push at the center line. Pass intercepted. Another opportunity here coming for Canada. Slight lift, though, indicated. And so possession back to Argentina. The Argentine player puts the ball into action. They're playing with 3 players in the back. Now 1 deep defender. Canada takes over, comes into the circle. Goalkeeper goes down to defend against the shot. The ball bounced back to the Canadian, who lifts the ball, but not a tight enough lift, and the ball goes over the far side of the end line. Near to us, but far from the player. If you're new to indoor hockey, 3-dimensional skills are not allowed. The ball has to only be pushed on the court, as that was. However, if you're taking a shot, you may lift the ball. You cannot hit the ball. And as this player is nearly trapped, we'll remind you that the players cannot trap a player with no way out against the boards or the sideline. And I think that was the call there. This ball off the foot of the Canadian. Can only play the ball with the flat side of your stick, so you can't play it with your feet or any other part of your body unless you're a guy called a goalkeeper. And if you are inside the circle and you're the goalkeeper, you can use any part of your body to stop, deflect, redirect, and or otherwise play the ball. The winner of the men's tournament goes to the World Cup. That shot just to the outside of the cage. World Cup taking place in Belgium in February of 2022. The umpire indicating, asking for the Argentine player to get 3 meters away. Canada with the ball. Oh, off the post at the top, off the crossbar. The shot was well taken in that it was over the goalkeeper who was down, but it hit the crossbar. And so was for naught. Umpire indicating the back of the stick was used, so the back of the stick or round side of the stick cannot be used to play the ball. Hard shot up to a teammate on the left side of the attacking circle, and his shot into the chest of the goalkeeper. In a penalty corner here, our first of the game and the first of the men's tournament. Players are preparing to defend by putting on extra special protection equipment, covering their face and foreheads and side of the head with the face mask in case the ball rises up, because shots inside the circle, shots are allowed to be raised. A shot taken from outside the circle isn't a shot, if you will, and it cannot be raised. So we have a 30-second countdown timer which produces a high-pitched sound that's already gone. Then the umpire blows the whistle to indicate that the teams are both ready, and after the inserter moves the ball, then all the players can move. And so the goalkeeper sort of fell into the circle, and the umpire has to send one of the players up. They have to take off all of their protection equipment, including their knee pads, and they have to go to the far circle. And that's where the player from Argentina has gone. Here's the shot. Again, off the crossbar. I've been involved with this sport for 45 years. That's the second time I've seen it in a game. And here in the first period, 2 shots right off the crossbar. 30 seconds to go. There's some teams that practice that, as a game. Can you hit the crossbar? But again, I've never seen it in actual play. Of course, a lot of that time has been as an umpire. Maybe I have my eyes closed. I'm just kidding, folks. And that was a hit. You are not allowed to hit the ball. Canada bringing the ball quickly up from the other end of the field. And end of the first period finds the score locked 1-1. That is how the first game today ended, with a score of 1-1. That was the women's game that took place at 9 o'clock. Uruguay and Canada tying 1-1. This tournament is put on by the Pan American Field Hockey Organization. There's a 1-minute break, by the way, between periods. One of the supporters of Pan American Field Hockey Organization is Forbix, and they provide competition services for hockey. Forbix, that's F-O-R-B-E-X. This is Ridge Bear coming over to this side of the pitch, take up his position as the near side umpire, if you will, far side from the technical table. The technical officer for this match is Aaron Dudek. Scoring judges Laura Hess. We've got a little cleanup to do on the pitch before we get things started. And you see this a lot in NBA games when the player falls and they've worked up a sweat. Some of that sweat ends up on the pitch surface. And here we go. So the second period is on, the second period of the first half. Each period is 10 minutes in length. There's a 5-minute break for halftime, 1 minute in between the periods. Had a little extra time there because of the cleanup. Gonzalez here, bringing the ball out of the circle. Pass along to the attacking left side. And the player from Argentina just mishandles the ball, and it goes across the end line. Interception. Up to the top of the circle, and a quick pass attempted over to the left side of the attack. Picked off by the Canadian. And now he brings the ball all the way up and crosses it into the circle, but the ball goes wanting across the circle without a reception. So Argentina starts to play, and the ball all the way upfield and then out of bounds. Very fast game, indoor hockey. There are 4-inch sideboards across down the length of the sideline. The ball, of course, can go over the boards by accident. The umpire putting his hands apart like that, indicating that the ball was played into the air. No three-dimensional skills are allowed in indoor hockey. The ball can be bounced off of these sideboards, and you especially see this a lot in sort of younger teams using the sideboards. The higher level is usually stick-to-stick passing, but of course it is used. The sideboards have a angle towards the pitch side that slightly deadens the rebound just a little bit, so the ball doesn't climb up the sideboard. And the Argentina player passes the ball across the circle, but it's picked up by the feet of the Canadian player, so we have our first penalty corner at the other end of the pitch. The 30-second clock has started. Not sure you can see that. It's on the technical table. If you look down the center line, you'll see it. Not sure what angle. The camera, by the way, is operated automatically by computers. It senses movement, and it picks one of 4 possible cameras to display on our broadcast. So that sound, that high-pitched sound, if you can hear it, is from the countdown timer. The umpire blows his whistle to indicate that the teams are ready and they can start. And that shot to the far post was deflected by the goalkeeper, and so free push for Argentina at the center line. Oh, a nice tricky move there. A little spin and a pass back through the legs. Caught Canada a little bit by surprise. The umpire having a word. The players are demonstrating no bad intent was meant, and the umpire indicating that the ball is starting outside the half of the pitch, and that would allow the team to go directly into the circle. Otherwise, they have indirect circle entry requirements. Basically, that ball has to move 3 meters before it goes in for a free hit from inside the attacking half. Free push, I should say, for the attack inside their attacking half. Oh, nice cross through to the top of the circle, looking for the left side attacker. Now caution there from the umpire for what we call a stick whip, when the stick is whipped over the head of an opponent. Generally done just to get the stick out of the way so that you can cross closely to an opponent. But it's very dangerous and is often carded. Nice spin move there by the player from Argentina. And he's in possession of the ball again in the center. Ball back to the top, just missed. And a long pass up after the miss, put right into the circle, but off the foot of the Argentina teammate. So Canada now working the ball, but against a press from Argentina. Not a particularly difficult press to beat, not particularly high-level pressure. And the player is going to get carded because they played the ball on the ground, or a verbal. No, just a warning, just a caution from the umpire. He put his hand into his pocket to say, hey, let's not have any of whatever that was. I think a complaint from one of the players, and the umpire was just basically saying, hey, I got this. So you're not allowed to play the ball when you're on when you're on the pitch, I was going to say everybody's on the pitch unless they're jumping into the air. But basically, you're allowed to play your ball while you have 2 feet on the pitch. You can't lie down on the pitch and play the ball. Now, that's different than outdoors, where if you're outdoors playing hockey fives or 11v11, you are allowed to play the ball while you're on the ground, but not indoors. There's a lot of similarities between indoor hockey and the outdoor versions, but it is a completely different sport with different rules. Now, light touch there by the Canadian inside the circle. If that had gone in, it would not have been a goal. There's no own goal in hockey, not indoors or out. And there was no touch by an Argentina player inside the circle. Canada now working the backside of the pitch, trying to find a way forward. Ball all the way up and across the back line, so a free push for Argentina. They can bring the ball up to 9 meters off of that back line. And that's the diameter of the circle. Sorry, the radius of the circle, 9 meters. Very fast-paced game here. 3 minutes to go in the first half. We are in the second period. Score is tied 1-1. Canada scored first in the first minute of play on a field goal. Argentina came back to tie that. We're now at 1-1. Canada in red, Argentina in the light blue and white striped jerseys. Nice deflection pass there. Brings the ball up. Spin move into the circle. Pass across. But no, the umpire is indicating that the player was down on the ground, and we had just talked about that. So there was no goal. I'm not sure if he meant the pass or the shot. I think the shooter was definitely down. We've got timeout. Here's where we're looking for the ball. New ball on the pitch. Umpire will blow the whistle to indicate time in. So the scoreboard shows 2-1, but it's really 1-1. Not sure what the clarity of your broadcast signal is. And the scoreboard has been corrected. Now 1-1. Very fancy stick work by Juan, and I cannot pronounce his last name, from Argentina. Number 5 with the white headband on. Number of tricky plays. Great stick control. You can do things indoors that you can't do out, just in terms of the speed with which you can spin. And a green card, our first of the game. Number 24 for Canada with the 1-minute suspension. Jagpreet Singh. So Canada will play short. Argentina with a power play here. Bringing the ball back and forth, right to left, back to the top, and now in the circle. And yeah, obstruction. I would have made the same call. I swear I would have, as the player backed into the defender. You cannot use your body or stick to keep an opponent away from the ball, except if we're talking about running fast with your body or doing amazing stick work. But you can't use your stick against an opponent's body. You can't use your body against an opponent's body or a stick. Great deflection save there by the keeper, and we're going to have a penalty corner. Canadian looking for some clarification from the umpire. That's my code for arguing with the umpire. But it does help if the player does have a complaint that they want to get clarified. And no better source than the umpire to find out what was the call. What did you see? There was the tone indicating the 30 seconds has expired. The umpire blows a whistle. Ball into play. Cross and into the goal. So now Argentina has the lead 2-1 with 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go in the second period. Umpire indicating that everybody's got to be 1 meter away. We have less than 1 minute to go in the second period. Argentina was complaining that one of the Canadian players had crossed the center line before the ball was put into play. A fair complaint, but that's why they just reset the center pass as opposed to penalizing either one of the teams. "30 seconds to go in this first half of the first game in the men's division of the 2021 Pan American Cup. Argentina looks to be happy to go into halftime with a 1-goal lead. Oh, but they find an opportunity. Oh, it was a hit. Indicated there was a hit. And that's a slight change for the players where that play was considered a hit. In the old days, meaning really just before this tournament, a lot of umpires would have let that go and said, well, it was sort of a sweep pass or I don't know, sling pass. But they just received a briefing and were given guidance on how to better determine what should be considered a hit versus a push. So we've got a 5-minute halftime. Canada taking position in their goal. Argentina out on the pitch. My name is Chris Maloney. We are at the 2021 Pan American Indoor Cup. This international tournament will determine the two teams, the men's team and the women's team, that will join the others who have already qualified for the 2022 World Cup that will take place in Belgium. So a lot riding on these games. The first game was a women's division game that ended in a tie of 1-1. That was between Uruguay and Canada. This game is between Canada and Argentina. This is the first of the men's game. There are 7 games today, 5 games in the women's division and 3 in the men's division. I think earlier I'd said that there were 2, but there are 3 today. The next game on the schedule begins at 11:30, and that is between the women's division, Guyana versus the USA. USA is the defending women's champion from the 2017 tournament that took place, and this will be their first game of this tournament at 11:30 once again. So we've got 3 minutes to go. I'm going to take a little break, put the mic down, and we'll see you in just a bit. Welcome back. We have about 30 seconds before the second half begins of our first game in the men's division of the 2021 Pan American Indoor Cup. Teams on the court are Canada in red versus Argentina in the light blue and white striped jerseys. Our timing judge for this match is Chip Rogers. He wrote the book, literally wrote the book on statistics and how to keep statistics in the sport of outdoor hockey. Canada puts the ball into play. They are defending the goal to your left. That happens a lot. The sticks get hooked together. So this free push is inside the attacking half. The umpire had won a little better placement, but there was no advantage or disadvantage that took place there. And it was clear that the player from Argentina was going to make a back pass. Seems like everybody likes to shoot high on the goal on the left side of the pitch. So Canada took 2 shots high and hit the crossbar in the first half. And there Argentina took a shot up high. And the ball sailed over the goal. You notice a little bit of body contact. The sport does not allow for contact. It's expressly forbidden. But, you know, it's a close quarter game also, so sometimes there's incidental body contact. And Argentina has extended their lead with a field goal from the right side of their attack. The goal score is now 3 for Argentina, 1 for Canada. Canada scored that goal within 1 minute of the first period, starting off. And that was a brilliant goal. I certainly wish I could pronounce Juan's last name. Let me see if I can get some help on that. Ken, will you give me a pronunciation of Juan's last name? Number 5?
Elesiegi.
Elesiegi. Fabulous shot. Elesiegi's shot after the spin move. He's a magician with the ball. Argentina again into the circle on the left side. Elesiegi is on break, getting a chance to rest. This is Gonzalez passing over to the far side. Gonzalez with the ball again, right in front of his keeper. Now the pass up the court, across the half line to the right side of the circle. Ball passed back and a hard shot saved by the keeper. And there, if you could see it, a little hit there by the Argentine player. Use of the sideboard there. Once again, the sideboards are 4 inches tall. They help keep the ball moving. It keeps the game moving, keeps the ball in play. If you're new to this sport, I just wish we saw it in every high school in America. And that ball slips by the left hand of the goalkeeper from Argentina. And so now the score is 4-2. Canada trying to climb back up the scoreboard. We've got 6 minutes to go in the third period. That ball deflected high off the Canadian stick. Into the circle on the left side. I believe we had a danger there by the team, by Argentina, so they are down a player for 1 minute. Power play here for Canada. They certainly hope to take advantage of that. Could get within 1 goal. Forced to come back out across to the top of the circle. Just misses the stick for Javane Jamu. He's with the ball there, passing back. Now cross to just in front of my location. Sorry if I'm in your way. Try to stay out of the broadcast visually. Back into the circle. Here's the shot. Saved by the keeper. Another shot through the legs as the keeper had gone to the ground. And so it is 3 for Canada, 4 for Argentina. The umpire asking for a little different type of conduct from the Canadian. Argentina with a hard pass all the way up to the top of the circle. The left side of the circle, gets all the way in. Canadians asking the umpire to take a look at something, if you will. We're not having video replays here. Just maybe a small complaint about pushing or use of the stick. Canada having difficulty getting it out of their half of the court. All alone in the far right side of the circle. Instead of taking a shot, passes back, hoping for a player to be there, but there was none. Battle for possession just in front of me here, just under the position of the umpire as well. Very difficult for the umpires. They have to have close proximity to play and at the same time be able to look up and make sure that there's nothing happening at the body. And the game is so fast, the ball moves so fast. It's lovely that they're using the luminescent yellow ball on this blue surface here at the training center. We are in Spring City, Pennsylvania for this championship. Canada in red with possession. A dish pass. Tries to find the captain. The umpire using the whistle not only to indicate fouls, but to communicate with the players about the placement for the restarts. Argentina on the left side. I think the umpire indicating that that defense was done with a hit. The whistle, of course, is used to communicate with the players because a lot of times the umpires don't speak the native language of the competitors. So a lot of arm signaling and whistling to indicate as opposed to having a conversation. Now we are under tight COVID conditions here. Protocols are in place, so we actually have no fans. So it's a lot quieter in the pitch than it might normally be. But there's not a lot of opportunity for the umpire to have a conversation, especially too because the game is so fast. So that's why the whistle and the arm signals. Argentina evaluating what their next play should be. So they finally bring the ball up along the right side, bouncing it off the sideboard. With 30 seconds to go, and this is the third period of the second game of the 2021 Indoor Pan Am Cup. This is the first game in the men's division. Argentina ahead by a score of 4-3, so we might start to see some more eager play by the Canadians. And there was a obstruction, a third-party obstruction. It gave possession over to Canada. Goalkeeper did not like that shot took place after the buzzer. We have a 1-minute break in between periods now. The Pan American Field Hockey Association likes to thank its supporters. Brightness is a company that provides lightning protection for outdoor events and fields. Brightness. We won't have any lightning inside the training center here in Spring City, Pennsylvania. The umpires making sure they're all on the same page, having a conversation there in the middle of the pitch. It's typical that the umpires would come together in the middle of the pitch and have a conversation, make sure that they're aware of what each other is seeing, but maybe not as signaled, like maybe number X, if you will, is pushing a little bit, so watch it down at your end, that sort of thing. Ten minutes on the clock for this, the final period of the first game in the men's division of the 2021 Indoor Pan Am Cup. Gold medalist goes to the World Cup, which will be held in Belgium, currently scheduled for February 2022. What with the global pandemic, you always have to say currently scheduled. Canada is in red, and they are behind on the scoreboard. A score of 4-3. And that rolled into the foot of one of the Canadian players inside the circle, so we have our first penalty corner of the final period of this game. Those of you most familiar with the outdoor game, you'll notice that in the indoor game, only the goalkeeper is allowed to defend with starting position inside the goal, and in fact they must start there. And then the other defenders have to stand outside the goal, opposite from where the insertion will take place. Nice pass, but the shot is well wide, not threatening, except for the speed on the ball. The other thing that's a little different about indoor hockey is the entire team can defend from behind the back line. 6 players, goalkeeper plus 5. In the outdoor game, it's the goalkeeper plus 4, so 5 players. Argentina threads the ball to the right side, and then back pass, looking for the player around near the stroke mark, or back towards the stroke mark, actually about halfway in between the stroke mark and the goal line. And I'm not sure what the call was for, but a penalty corner is the result. It's a 30-second countdown. That clock is running on the technical table. There'll be a high-pitched tone that you might be able to hear. And then after that signals, then the umpire is allowed to blow their whistle, and then the insertion can take place. So this time, the play worked. The pass out to number 5, quick deflection, or pass over to the top of the circle. And now, Argentina has expanded their lead by 2. It is 5-3. Argentina in control with 8 minutes to go. The umpire indicating to the player, discontinue talking to me, complaining to me about what the call was. Or maybe what the player thought the call should have been. Might be a better way to put it. That ball was trapped between 2 players' sticks. Nice shot across. Nice shot across. Trapped between 2 sticks from the opponent and therefore an obstruction. Canada puts the ball into play with a free push from the center line. 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Nice give and go using the board. Umpire whistle indicates a stoppage there for a second. And the free push taken by Argentina was deflected over the sideboard. So a free push, or what would otherwise be called a side in for Canada. Yeah, the umpire initially was thinking about that, and then, of course, signaled the penalty corner. As you can see, the penalty corner signal, the umpire puts both hands together and points towards the goal cage, indicating that this is what's going to happen next. I can't tell you how many times umpiring an indoor game that I've had to say, like, I have no idea where the ball is. That's how fast it moves. Now, this surface is great, and the yellow ball really helps the visibility, just for the players and for the umpires. A different play, but the same result. Argentina scores again on a penalty corner. The goal brings the score to 6-3. Argentina with the lead. There's 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the final period of this first game in the men's division. Warming up behind me are the women that will be competing in the second game of the women's division. So you are allowed to lift when you take a shot on goal, but that ball was not going towards the goal, but it was lifted. So he was in the circle, and you can lift the ball in the circle if it's a shot on goal. Well, that one was not. It was in the circle, but it was not a shot on goal. Once again, Argentina has won a penalty corner with their play. Teams warming up for the next game, the women's game, Guyana versus the USA. And we're going to be back on court 1 for that game, which will start at 11:30. Just 30 minutes from now. Okay, those of you with a watch, it's 28 minutes from now. Now Argentina is taking the penalty corner insertion from the other side of the circle. Ball is out. Let go. Outside of the dotted lines that mark the proximity area to the circle. 3 meters out. Nice behind the back spin pass. Well, if there's an award for magician at these tournaments, I know who it should be given to, even though we've only seen two of the teams play. Can't wait for the next men's game, but I have to. It starts at 2:45. It's Argentina versus the USA. Canada with the break in and the lift over the goalie, but too high, well above the cage. No threat there with the high flick. We're going to end up with a penalty card here in the last 5 minutes of the game. Ball bouncing off of the sideboard, but is allowed to be controlled down by the player. Nice give and go, leads to a shot, saved by the Canadian keeper. Ball is in play, the umpire indicating as such, putting both arms down to ground, saying, hey, there's the ball, play it. 4 minutes to go. Strong performance here, really by both teams, but stronger by the team from Argentina. Nice ball stolen away. Sorry, just breaking from the action here to get the magician's pronunciation of the magician's last name, Juan Alecede. Number 5 from Argentina. We're going to have a lot to watch for him during this tournament. We'll get to see him next against the USA. Ball off the keeper. So a free push from the center line for Argentina. Alecede with the ball now. Argentina trying to break into the circle, and they do from the left side. Oh, but the pass, it was lifted, and so no goal. Yes, it hit the foot, but the umpire indicates play on because there was nobody within playing distance. Alecede there with another spin move. I hope I'm not making too much of it. Just incredible stick control. Really taking advantage of the smooth surface. 2 minutes to go. Canada on the right side. They've had some success from over here. It's a shot saved by the keeper. Beautiful right hand save as the ball looked to find the far side of the goal. So this looks like it will end up as a win for Argentina. That would be the first win of the tournament. It's only the second game, but the first game, the women from Uruguay tied the women from Canada. One minute, 10 seconds to go. Again with a pass through the legs this time. Perfectly on point to his teammate. Swing and a miss basically there by the Canadian team. And this game looks like it's going to end with a score of 6-3. There's still 40 seconds to go, so there's plenty of time to score a goal. But chances are Argentina isn't going to make it easy. Once again, coming up at 11:30, the USA women, the defending champions from this tournament, will play against Guyana. Ten seconds. And the game ends with the score 6 for Argentina, 3 for Canada. This is the first win of the tournament. First men's game, too. Again, the women's game, the first game ended in a 1-1 tie. And that game was between Canada and Uruguay. The next game up starts at 11:30, so that's in 20 minutes from now. Guyana versus the USA. I'm going to put the mic down as we take a break during the 2021 Indoor Pan Am Cup, coming to you from the Training Center in Spring City, Pennsylvania. My name is Chris Maloney.